This is your funeral music, where we're listening to the jams you won't get to hear. If this is your first visit with us, welcome. Thank you for joining us. I am your host, Michael Vensky. Each week we're joined by a new guest to help us contemplate our mortality while listening to the songs that they want played at their funeral and the meaning behind the music. Have you ever thought about what songs you want played at your funeral? Well, consider coming on the air and sharing those tunes with us. You can learn more at yourfuneralmusic.com. Our guest this week is Katey D. Katey is a freelance audio producer, reporter, writer, and award-winning filmmaker based right here out of St. Paul, Minnesota. She's the co-founder and co-director of WFNU Frogtown Community Radio, and she runs the audio and video production company Sounds Powerful Productions. Katey has worked and created work for a variety of news and media organizations throughout the Midwest, focusing on stories that put a spotlight on the unseen or the marginalized. Katey is a sauna enthusiast, I hope I said that right, loves animals, St. Paul funk, music, thrift shopping, summer, and is a mom to an awesome 10-year-old daughter. This is your funeral music, Katey D. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Michael. I am so excited to talk about
funeral music.
Yes,
it's such a weird concept.
Talk about me dying, me after death.
And some people don't want to talk about it. They're very uneasy with the idea that one day they won't be here anymore. Have you thought about what you want to have happen after you're gone?
Not until today, when I was looking at these prep questions.
So you put a lot of thought into this.
Right.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. I would like, not a party where people are, there's not going to be like a disco light, even though that would be kind of cool. So just like a big gathering of people because I have a lot of different groups of friends and networks, and I don't know if they would ever come together besides my funeral. So like people connecting and getting to know each other.
From all walks of life.
All walks of life. And I want really good food. Like fantastic food. Like a buffet and like desserts as well. So
you're going to have a big party. Mm-hmm. Is that why this first song is it feels like a
party jam.
Yeah, it feels like a fun song. Mm-hmm. How did you decide to start here?
It was an easy choice. Growing up, I was completely obsessed with Paula Abdul. Paula Abdul earrings, t-shirts. I was just in love with Paula Abdul. I took dance for probably the first 15 years of my life. Mm-hmm. And when people asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, I always said Paula Abdul.
How do you want people to feel when they hear this at your funeral?
I want them to... anybody that knows me well knows that this is like my jam. And I like that it's Forever Your Girl. Like, I will always be forever their girl.
So our next song is from Disney's 1992 animated feature Aladdin. How did this song find its way into your playlist?
I've only done karaoke twice. I've done
in your life?
Yeah, actually, I've done karaoke 3 times. I don't like singing in front of other people. I'm not a great singer. This song I did twice for karaoke.
Did you do both parts?
I did do both parts.
Oh man, I thought I was being silly
embarrassing.
asking.
Yes. Late night.
Yeah.
So this is just another song that makes me really happy, and thinking about dying and transitioning into another realm, as I'd like to think of it. I'm going to be going to a whole new world.
Welcome back to Your Funeral Music. Our guest this week is Katey, and we're listening to her funeral music this week. Our next song, the song we're about to hear, it was voted as one of the top 10 one-hit wonders in the Rolling Stone Readers Poll. We are talking about American singer-songwriter Norman Greenbaum's Spirit in the Sky. Spirit in the Sky. Katey, what can you tell me about this song?
I can remember like a very fond memory. This is why I picked this song. I took my daughter to San Diego and we rented a car, and she was maybe 5 years old, and we drove through the desert, and this song, I like to listen to like various local radio stations when I'm on vacation, and so this song came on the radio, and you know, it was open road in front of us. There was nobody out on these dirt roads. It was mountains, desert. It was just this beautiful feeling of, you know, we had a sunroof and the windows rolled down, and
That's how you do it on a road trip.
yeah, and it was a really great moment.
Welcome back to Your Funeral Music, where we're listening to the jams you won't get to hear. Our guest this week is Katey D. And this next song, it's Nina Simone. She recorded this tune for her 1965 album, I Put a Spell on You. And I'm curious to know why Feeling Good is part of your playlist.
This is another song where if I am having if I need a little motivation in the morning and I need like a little pick-me-up, everything flips around.
Really?
Yes.
So this next song we're going to hear, this is listed among the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's 500 songs that shaped rock and roll, and it's on the Rolling Stones list of 500 greatest songs of all time. It's currently residing right over around 202, so better than half. Now we're talking about Elton John and Bernie Taupin's 1970 hit, Your Song, which was Elton John's first international top 10 chart single, and we're going to hear this song. It's a version by the English singer and songwriter Ellie Goulding's cover of it, and she has such a specific sound. Katey, what feeling do you want us to kind of have as we listen to this, or why is this on your list?
So I know of this song from Elton, but when I heard Ellie Goulding's version, I just was kind of like, oh, this is actually a good song.
Oh, man. Ouch.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Sorry, Elton.
Sorry, Mr. Reginald White.
Yes, because he's listening somewhere.
Yes, he is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd say I chose this song. It's beautiful, number one. And number two, I want people to hear it. This is kind of maybe like my love letter to them.
What a beautiful love letter, Katey, to your friends and family.
Thank you.
I love that. We're going to start back up here with Coldplay's song Yellow. What is so special about this song, Yellow?
Well, thanks for asking, Michael.
You're welcome.
I didn't know really of Coldplay before I heard this song. I mean, I'm sure I'd heard a song of theirs, but this was the only song that really has resonated with me. I remember I was a caregiver for a young man who had a disability. He was in a wheelchair, and I was his caregiver for about 20 some years.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that about you. Wow.
Up until a couple years ago, and I was on vacation with him and his family in Florida, and this was the first time I had been to Florida, and I was in my early 20s. And this song, we were going somewhere in their van, and this song came on the radio. It was at night, and it was this kind of moment where like the lyrics really spoke to me. It says, "Look how the stars, look how they shine for you, and everything that you do," and that was kind of, I was like, oh, like this is such a deep song. Like, I don't know what Coldplay meant when they sang these lyrics, but to me, I was feeling it as like this is kind of God's love letter to us.
Welcome back. This is Your Funeral Music, where we're listening to the jams you won't get to hear. Now, our next song is a cover appearing on the 2010 album Sing Me to Sleep Indie Lullabies by Trespassers William. Now, the song that we're talking about is from the 1979 film The Muppet Movie, and it was sung by none other than Mr. Kermit the Frog himself. So how are you connected to this song then, Katey?
So as a child that grew up in the 80s, I, of course, was a fan of the Muppets and knew this song from good old Kermie. But this version I found online somewhere. I think my daughter was really young, and I was looking for lullabies for her to help her to get to sleep, and heard this version and really latched onto it. So I started singing her this song when she was a baby to help her to get to sleep, and as I said before, I'm not a good singer, so I'm surprised that she fell asleep to me singing this. But this is such a beautiful song. It makes me think of kind of like a call to action for creatives and people who, maybe aren't traveling the same American dream of success up that ladder.
Talking about the path.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that there's a group of us, people who are connected, and that if we keep on going, that we will eventually get to each other, and that success and that happiness that we're looking for.
This next song, Joyful, Joyful, it is a rearrangement of the hymn Joyful, Joyful, We Adore Thee, itself a rearrangement on the theme created by Beethoven, and is performed by a British gospel choir made up of students of the Academy of Contemporary Music. Katey, were you a choir kid? Did you sing in the...
I was not a choir kid, but I went to many church camps, so we did sing the not as joyful version.
The not as joyful version
of this song.
Joyful.
Yes. But this song is a version of the joyful version that I love. That is from the movie Sister Act 2, starring Whoopi Goldberg and Miss Lauryn Hill. Yes, and this is the, like any good song and dance movie, at the end they have their final performance, and it's, who's going to win, and there's always some kind of kerfuffle, and they told these kids who are growing up in this impoverished area,
the city,
yes, like to take off their robes just to wear their street clothes and go out and sing this song. And there was a rap that went along with it, and my good friend and I, we love this song, this movie.
Would you do
so
the rap?
Much. No, but we did learn the sign language for this song just because they did that on in the movie. There was there's a company in the Twin Cities, and I think they're actually nationwide now, called Flip Phone. They do like drag shows, and they always have themes, and they had a Sister Act theme. And so obviously I had to go to the Sister Act themed drag brunch. It was bottomless mimosas, and I did my best memory of the sign language to this song.
We're ending our show here, moving closer to the end of Your Funeral Music. We're lifting spirits, coming from the English singer-songwriter Joss Stone, her fourth studio album, Color Me Free, released in October 2009. The song is actually a protest song that Joss Stone wrote against her former record label EMI.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
That's
if you listen for it,
okay,
listen for it. It's in there. So is this a protest song for you? Are you protesting
I
death?
guess I'm protesting life, maybe. I mean, why I picked this song is because I like the idea of wherever I go next, I'll be free from the restraints that I have now, whether that be like physical, going geography, like different.
Or if you had a disability, for instance.
Correct,
You'd
yeah.
be free of the pain of that disability.
Yes. So I guess if this was a protest song for me, I'd be protesting the worldly restraints that are put upon us.
This next song, we're closing the night out with a cut from the compilation album Collaborations by American singer Jill Scott. And on this song, Slide, we get to hear a collaboration with jazz soul trombonist Jeff Bradshaw. So why are we closing the night with this song, Katie?
This is a song, there's a line in there. First off, I really love funk music, and I consider myself to be a very funky individual. Kind of eccentric and liking of good music, as you may have heard already. So this is a song that in it they say, when I walk up in the place, they go and say, who that girl and how she gets so funky. And this is what I would hope that the afterlife would say to me when I arrive.
Special thanks this week to our guest, Katey D. You can learn more about her production company by visiting soundspowerful.com. Katey, how was this for you?
This was great. Fantastic music.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Well done.
Great questions. It really got me thinking about how I want my end of life party to be. And
it's such a weird sentence. My end of life party. Retirement from living.
Right. Yeah. I think they should call it that.
Yeah.
I think if I were to have closing remarks at my end of life retirement party, I would want to encourage my loved ones to be as much of themselves as they can possibly be and share that with as many people as possible. Connect with each other and find ways to show other people love and kindness.
I love that. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing that with all of us. If you'd like to be a guest on Your Funeral Music, please visit us online at yourfuneralmusic.com. Join us next week when we'll have a new guest and a new playlist reflecting on what it means to be living in the world right now, today.